And basically we're recording, and I'll edit the crap out of this.
Okay, I can pick my nose freely.
Yes, and I'll keep that part in and edit out the uninteresting
Sweet.
stuff.
Yeah, send me a loop of that.
Okay. Is there something about the story that lends itself more to a cartoon setting than to a live action?
Yeah, you know, originally when I came up with the idea so many years ago, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And if you told me to make a cartoon, that would be like telling me to make the pyramids. It was just something that I had no comprehension. And I forget who I was telling it to, but someone said, you know, you want to get with Matt. He still does comic books and cartooning. So I did. I met up with him, and then we just really quickly he put together some sketches, and then we started developing it as a cartoon. And after a certain point, you just got to be like, hey, we're sticking with the cartoon.
Right.
So, Todd, what does it mean to say that you're kind of a lifelong cult enthusiast?
Like, for instance, I knew all about Jonestown, and I thought it was very harrowing to see how hundreds of people were either killed or they took their own lives. But the one that did it for me was the Heaven's Gate cult, which was basically a few dozen folks who willingly dressed up as Star Trek characters, took poison applesauce, and then shed their mortal earthly vehicle so that they can ride on the spaceship in the sky. And it was just like, you look at this guy, he wasn't very tall, he wasn't very charismatic, yet he somehow convinced them to basically follow him, and we'll kill ourselves in due time, but in the meantime, I need you all to castrate yourselves, the males among you, and then also we're going to build some websites. And it just seemed so zany. I was like, how could this possibly happen? And it just sort of sparked my imagination, and I investigated different cults, and one day it was just like, you know, what if there was a cult that was so secret that even his wife didn't know about? And then it just grew. I was like, well, he would have these cult members, and they would be doing it like this, and then pretty soon it was, I had a treatment, and then a script, and then I found Matt, and then we had characters, and then one day led to another, and here we are, you know, end of August 2011.
Yeah, getting ready to premiere your pilot episode.
Yep.
So terrible things will happen.
Possibly, in some respects, yes.
Yeah,
Good.
someone tries to attempt a terrible thing, and it doesn't quite happen the way.
And it goes terribly.
Well, like Dr. Strangelove, I think, is a great example. You take nuclear war, suicide, and madness, and he makes it hilarious.
True.
And I mean, I never laughed so hard when the general shot himself in order to prevent the secret code from getting out. I just thought that was so funny, and then I'm like, wow, I'm actually laughing at a suicide portrayal. This is great.
So now the show at the Kessler, September 3rd, is going to be not only your pilot episode, it's going to be an art show and music as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did you go about pairing, you know, art and music with the subject matter of your cartoon?
Yeah, well, the main thing was that I had the Kessler for the whole night, and this is going to be a 25-minute long pilot. And just like an Indian uses all parts of the buffalo, I wanted to use all parts.
Native American.
Yeah, Native American.
There you go.
I wanted to use all parts of the Kessler. So I was like, what can I do with that? And the art just kind of came naturally, and I knew a lot of people that had a very wacky, ironic sense of art, and I asked them, I was like, here's what we're doing, do you think you can pair up anything with that? And so one guy's like, okay, I'm going to create something called Lord Horsehead, and it's going to be photographs depicting someone in a horse mask. I'm like, that sounds like it would fit. And another one is a member of the OTO, which is Aleister Crowley's a group that he formed in last century. And I was like, yeah, I think whatever you do, by definition, it will fit just fine. And we just found other people who normally don't do this sort of thing, but like, okay, I think I'll let my dark side come out, like I was Darth Vader or something. And then the band, I just wanted to find a band that was quirky, or someone new, someone artistic that would just follow. I didn't really think I could find like a cult-like band, but that was a little bit less tied into the cartoon.